Ready, set, go!
Registration is now open for the Middle States Commission on Higher Education 2023 Annual Conference. It's in Philadelphia, December 4th through 6th, 2023, Setting the Standard, Transformation Through Accreditation. You don't want to miss it. Register now at msche.org.
Surprise!
We're taking the EdUp Experience podcast to Insights EDU. Join us for an incredible higher education marketing and enrollment management conference, February 20th to 22nd in Phoenix, Arizona. Register now at insightsedu.com and use promo code EdUp to save $50 off your registration.
Welcome back, everybody. It's your time to EdUp on the EdUp Experience podcast, where we make education your business. This is Elvin Freitas, co-founder of the EdUp Experience podcast, and I am very excited today because we have a super special podcast guest, and we usually don't do something like this. So this is very exciting. We're going to try something different, and I think the listeners are going to love this. So before I introduce our guest, I do want to say thanks again to the thousands of you that have purchased our book, Commencement, the Beginning of a New Era in Higher Education, written by Kate Colbert and Dr. Joseph Salucio, with contributions by myself. It has been well received, so go to edupexperience.com, edupexperience.com to learn more about the book, our different shows, where we are podcasting live, because we're going to different places. And so edupexperience.com is where you want to go. All right, now let's get into it. So I want to introduce to you our guest today. Her name is Gwyneth Giangrande, and she's going to be the special guest host for a mini-series, an EdUp mini-series that we're focusing on student wellness. So Gwen, I'm going to call you Gwen. Gwen, how you doing tonight?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. And I'm saying tonight because we are recording this on during the night time. Yeah. So first of all, Gwen, thanks so much for being here. Really appreciate it. This is super cool that you're going to do this mini series. I'm excited. Joe's excited. We're really excited about this idea. So let's first tell the listeners who you are, what you do, all that good stuff, and we'll go from there.
I'm Gwyneth. I'm 18 and a high school senior at Convent of the Sacred Heart, which is in New York City. So Sacred Heart is an all-girls Catholic school, and like millions of other high school students across the country, I'm in the thick of college applications and essays. So I'm preparing for the next chapter of my educational journey, and like most students, I'm super excited about the prospect of college, but I'm also extremely stressed too. I do love Sacred Heart because it doesn't just focus on academics, which is very rigorous, but it offers a broad range of activities and also a genuine commitment to community service. So it is a Catholic school, and yes, we are focused on faith, but I think what I take away from it is the set of morals it gives you. So there's a really big commitment to community service and an emphasis on that and giving back to the community and helping others. So it's a really important part of the school, and I'm very lucky to have gone to Sacred Heart for such a long time and grown up with those set of morals because it feeds into my daily life.
I'm curious, how's that experience been? And is there any reason why you went to an all-girls school? And tell us a little bit about that story right there real quick.
So I wasn't sure how I'd feel about going to an all-girls Catholic school at first, to be honest, because I went to a co-educational grammar school and I loved that experience. But in third grade, I did decide to switch. And now, as a senior, I have come to appreciate the sisterhood and all that an all-girls Catholic school cultivates. So the friendships I've made and just the focus on women and leadership and developing as a young woman, even if there is the occasional drama with teen girl groups, which I'm sure everybody knows about, we figure it out, and we've learned to figure it out and support each other. And a faith-based school is actually very grounding. So it's focused on service, as I said, helping others, and it's very important to me and how I grew up. And I also think it helped that I was accepted to study at TASIS, which is in Switzerland, for 10th grade. So that's also coeducational school, which gave me a little bit of a break from the all-girls Catholic school. And I think it is hard to a certain extent because you don't have homecoming, you don't have the football games that you go to. But on the other hand, you grow up in the sisterhood with this really tight-knit group of girls, so you learn how to manage it. And so, yeah, I really have enjoyed going to an all-girls school for the past, oh my gosh, I think 10 years now. And I'm really happy with all it has given me.
Oh, that's fantastic. I appreciate you outlining that context because I think it's important for listeners to understand what it's like to experience that. And in 2023, you know, and I really love, I really love how you painted that picture. So that helps a lot. So it seems like within that, the idea of student well-being, mental health, all that became somewhat of a passion for you. But from what I understand, you're involved in a lot of different things. So I think, can you talk about a little bit of all the things you're involved, and then within that, how did this passion come about?
Well, academics come first, of course. I do love science and literature. Any book you can name, I've probably read. My bookshelf has to be changed out almost every month. But I am doubling up in science this year because I'm super fascinated about anatomy and physiology and the brain, and with this podcast, how the arts and extracurriculars can actually impact the brain. Music and my arts are my extracurricular passions. So I've been singing and performing in productions for most of my high school career and just school career in general. I perform outside of school in theater programs, and I've taken jazz, tap, ballet for 10 years, as well as piano and guitar and voice lessons. And so when I'm not working on the performing arts, I love the fine arts. So painting and drawing, and mostly in mixed media, I love. So that's kind of my break from the performing arts, I guess. But I do love athletics too. So I used to be a 3-season athlete. So volleyball, basketball, softball, which is also really important for health and wellness and school spirit too. As well as service. I mean, service is extremely important to me, and it is core to the foundation of Sacred Heart culture. So whether I'm a mentor or on a leadership council in school or leading service projects for the elderly, it's part of who I've been for my entire life. And my friend and I actually started a little junior doctors club at our school for 5th graders, and it's so much fun, and we just get to teach them about whatever they want to learn about medicine. And we love doing it. And so, yeah, it's kind of just been something that's been really important for my entire life.
Should you register for the Middle States Commission on Higher Education annual conference this December 4th through 6th in Philadelphia?
100%.
I agree, because the title of the conference is called Setting the Standard, Transformation Through Accreditation. There is no time like the present to explore opportunities in higher education and the future for our students and our business model. Get out and network with your peers this December 4th through 6th at the Middle States Commission on Higher Education annual conference.
Attention.
Are you ready to elevate your institution's marketing and enrollment strategies? Join the EdUp Experience podcast at the Insights EDU conference, February 20th to 22nd in Phoenix, Arizona. Don't miss out on this opportunity to hear from engaging speakers from industry-leading companies like Google, LinkedIn, Adobe, and higher ed leaders. Learn the latest marketing and enrollment strategies to grow your programs. Register now at insightsedu.com and use promo code EdUp to save $50 off your registration.
Attention.
Wow. Okay, that's really cool, and I appreciate you outlining how we got to this point. So let's talk a little bit about this super cool mini series that you're gonna get into. So tell the listeners, like, who you're gonna talk to, what are you gonna talk about, all that good stuff.
Well, first, I want to thank you for giving me this opportunity. I mean, You and your podcast reach an audience of thousands of higher education professionals who are dedicated to student success. And so I'm really excited about this mini-series that I get to do. We're going to draw upon professionals from, every type of institution to get their views on student health and wellness, resources and strategies for students to cope, as well as the intersection of extracurriculars, so music, arts, athletics, and wellness that I've mentioned. So thank you for the opportunity. And I just did a podcast with Dr. Chris Howard. So he's the Chief Operating Officer of Arizona State University. He is a distinguished executive, and you won't want to miss what he had to say. It was a great interview, and I'm super excited for everybody to hear, and I won't give too much away because that would ruin the fun of all of you listening to the mini-series. So I'm super excited about it, and I hope you all tune in.
Oh, I love it. That sounds really, really cool. I'm excited to listen myself. So, this is going to be great. So let's ask you this question. What do you think you want listeners to walk away with from listening to this mini-series? Like, what is kind of the one or two things that you want to really get stuck in their heads? So when they say, I listened to this mini-series on EdUp with Gwen, it was amazing, and they're talking about this, and these are the things that really stuck in my mind.
So student mental health is a public health crisis because poor mental health contributes to poor overall health, academic achievement, graduation rates, and an increase in teen suicides, which we've seen across the board. So I did mention this in my interview with Dr. Howard, which you can watch in my mini-series coming up. But a recent survey by Inside Higher Education actually found that nearly 60% of students say that they feel chronic stress. So they feel stress over a long period of time and it doesn't dissipate. And obviously we know that stress can be useful for things like competitive sports or when you need to get something done quickly, speaking in public, because of that adrenaline rush it gives you. But chronic stress, you're stressed day in and day out, you're overworked. It can actually alter your brain. So high levels of cortisol over long periods of time actually wreak havoc on your brain. So as cortisol levels rise, the electric signals in your hippocampus, which is associated with learning and memories and stress control, it actually deteriorates. So cortisol can shrink your brain because of the loss of synaptic connections between neurons. And so it shrinks your prefrontal cortex, which is part of your brain that regulates behaviors like concentration, decision-making, judgment, social interaction. So it basically, when you are so stressed day in and day out, it actually shrinks your brain. And I think that's something really important to know.
All right, so I want to wrap this up. So, okay, but I do want to ask, because I think it'd be super interesting to hear your perspective. We always like to ask everyone the same question at the very end. So last question is, Gwen, what do you see as the future of higher education?
Well, as we know, I'm not in higher education yet, but I do think three things come to mind. So students in general are growing up with such sophisticated technology and platforms. So they want the same user experience at school for managing their academic and extracurricular activities. So assignments, schedules, school resources, and everything that entails that. As well as students want to feel less pressure about their futures and have a better understanding and pathways about how to transition from school to career. And I really think that that could be the future of higher education, kind of transitioning. Okay, well, I know I have all of my knowledge from high school, but how do I get a job? How do I pay my taxes? And so I think that's a really important thing to note when we're thinking about the future of higher education, and transitioning into that career atmosphere when you leave high school or college. It's really important for students to know how to transition. And And I think with better technology, so resources and learning experiences, there's also going to be fewer stereotypes about which schools are the best. And I've heard this across the board from adults and students. I want to go to the best school. I want to go to an Ivy League school, which of course is an incredible accomplishment. And they are all great schools. But there's so many more great schools that are the right fit for the individual. And I think there can be a really good emphasis on that with technology and resources. Like even as I'm searching for colleges, I'm looking at all these different institutions that I've maybe never heard of before, but they're a really good fit for me. And I like, let's say, their music program or their medicine program or that kind of thing. And so I think with technology and for the future of higher education, kind of connecting all of those three things, we're going to move in a really great direction. So I'm very excited for that.
I agree with you 100%. And again, so much looking forward to listening to your miniseries. So everyone that's
Excited.
everyone that's listening to this, please make sure to follow the EdUp Experience so you get notified when the miniseries is out. So Gwen, thank you so much. This has been fantastic. So ladies and gentlemen, your guest today has been Gwyneth or Gwen Giangrande, right? And
Yes,
she will be
Italian.
and she will be the host of a new EdUp Experience mini series on student well-being, student wellness, and intersection between music and wellness. So please make sure you tune in and listen. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, you've just EdUp'd.
Oh, yeah.
The Middle States Commission on Higher Education 2023 annual conference is in Philadelphia, December 4th through 6th. Setting the standard, transformation through accreditation. Remember, only you can create transformation through networking, knowledge sharing, opportunity, leadership, service, learning, and accreditation. And you'll do all those things at the Middle States Commission on Higher Education annual conference this December 4th through 6th. Can't wait to be there. EdUp will be there. There's going to be over 1,300 attendees, presidents, provosts. The networking opportunities are off the chain. Register now at msche.org.
Oh, yeah.
Attention higher ed marketing and enrollment management professionals. We are taking the EdUp Experience podcast to Insights EDU. Join us at Insights EDU on February 20th to 22nd, 2024 in Phoenix, Arizona. Gain insight into the latest higher education trends and cutting-edge marketing strategies that'll take your institution's enrollment to a whole new level. This is your opportunity to connect with higher education leaders and marketing experts from across the country. Comprehensive presentations, engaging panel discussions, and more. Insights EDU will equip you to position your institution for growth. Register now at insightsedu.com and use the code EdUp to save $50 off your registration. Can you afford to miss this conference?
I don't think so.